Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Soul Sessions. I'm Jess, and today we're closing the chapter in an unforgettable year, 2024. As I get closer to graduation and reflect on the lessons learned, challenges faced, and the growth I've experienced, I wanted to take a moment to share this journey with you all. From stepping into therapy rooms to navigating the complexities of grad school, this year has been full of highs, lows, and everything in between. So whether you're reflecting on your own year or simply here to listen to my story, let's dive in. Here's to the lessons from 2024 and all that's ahead in the new year. So I think the biggest theme I got from this year was there's several. I think my first one is that growth is definitely not linear. I have learned quite a few hard lessons this year, both in like my personal life and professionally. I think as well it's been one of the harder years for me beyond the growth, also like within my own family and learning myself how to establish boundaries with people and kind of being okay with sometimes those boundaries include the loss of certain friendships or loved ones or family members, and I've really come to peace with that. I've really been exposed to it was my first time doing therapy this year, which has been so much fun. It actually has been great, but it's definitely had its moments. I think that's the best way to describe it. Definitely has had its moments, but it's definitely been eye-opening. I've learned a lot about self-care, the importance of taking care of myself, the importance of attending therapy, the importance of spending time on my hair routine, the importance of having friendships that are valuable to me, and kind of the love and growth I've had from that. But I think the most important part that I want to talk about is stepping into the therapy room for the first time. So this past year, I started doing therapy with kids and families, and this has been one of the most beautiful experiences ever. I work primarily in community mental health with kids of color, and I don't know, I've said this before, but like the representation really means everything for me. I'm also one of the few in my cohort of interns of like that are people of color, and it's been challenging in its own right, but it's been amazing at the same time. And I'm really thankful for each interaction I've had with all the kids, each interaction I've had with their parents. Some of the kids, for them, it's I have one of them, she had expressed that she was excited because I look like her. Kids stopping me in the hallways asking me if I work there, and then when I tell them I do, they get really excited. So that's been really, really cool for me, and also kind of something that I didn't really do at the beginning, but was like sharing my culture. And I've said before, but like I physically look, I guess what some I perceive as like more black than Latino. So, but being exposed to the kids, being that representation for the kids, a lot of the kids don't know that I'm Latino at first, glance or whatever. So to kind of disclose my culture to them has been really a point of connection and embrace. And I'm always thankful for them. They always keep my days very bright. Although the days are very, 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 very long, they really, really help it make it easier. Like they make me laugh, they make me smile. Sometimes when I'm having a shitty day, they really make it better. Their innocence and love for the world, no matter what they've been through. And a lot of them have been through some really fucked up shit, but no matter what they've been through, they are ready and eager for therapy. I've never met so many kids excited for therapy, and I think that's a testament to the environment that they're in and, what they kind of see and feel. So I hope that, in their interactions with me, they have kind of the same feelings. And I hope that I'm that representation for them and kind of giving them a safe space where they could share and grow and explore all these feelings that may not be acceptable out there. It's been really amazing. And I think with that, I've kind of mentioned a little bit of my own personal growth regarding being an Afro-Latina, being a Black Latina, whatever the case may be, and kind of how this identity, this is the first year that I have really, really leaned into into who I am. And I think because I spent so much time in other spaces where I had to almost become a shadow of myself and not really express myself in the way that I would want or the way that I would think would be beneficial to me, I really had to dim my light a lot. And this is probably the first year that I did not do that at all. Like I've said before, I really could give less than a fuck of what people think about me. And it's been amazing, amazing, amazing. It's been so liberating, so freeing. I never knew how much I was kind of holding myself back in that way. And I really have enjoyed kind of these moments. And that has looked very different in it has looked different in different spaces. So one of the things that I've struggled with a lot, especially when I was younger, was my hair. Like I have kind of a type 4 hair texture. It's big. It's not that long. I have a lot of shrinkage. I mean, it's long, but not what we would define long as by European standards. So like when my hair is, in its natural state, it's real tight. It looks shorter than it is. And I was, as a child, I think I internalized a lot of racism and hair texturism that kind of really, really dampened my self-esteem. And in the last year, I mean, I wear my hair however I wake up, that's how it is. I've even gotten away from like the defined look of hair. I feel like, especially my type 4 girlies, we really feel the need to, we can't wear our hair down unless it's super defined. And I've really gotten away from that. I wake up sometimes at 4:30 in the morning to go do stuff. So however my hair looks at 5 in the morning, that's the way it is. It's beautiful in its own way. It's my crown. It's how I present to the world. And I really, really love it. And I can't wait to continue that. And right now I'm sitting with a scarf on my head and my hair is kind of wrapped up and I still feel beautiful. It doesn't take away from that fact. And I really, really have learned to love her the way she is. Even though she gets on my nerves sometimes because she's hard to detangle and stuff, but she's really, really been almost a protective factor for me in a lot of ways. So, but the other like personal growth and reflection I've come about with that is being unapologetically black, which is my favorite topic. I have really leaned into this idea of being unapologetically myself, however that comes across. Sometimes, I think we get put into certain areas, white spaces, professional spaces, school spaces, where we feel the need to lean into the white expectations of the world. And I have, through lots of trial and error, learned to leave that alone. I've really just been like, all right, y'all gonna take me how I am. This is how I talk. This is how I act. This is how I sit. This is what I'm wearing. Whatever the case may be, and y'all need to learn how to accept me for who I am. And I think that has helped with my confidence in like professional settings and school settings specifically. I'm way more outspoken because I think I'm way more not into myself as in like shy, but into myself as like I accept who I am. This is what it is. Because as we know in the psychology world, like code switching has a cognitive burden on people. So it literally hurts your brain to code switch. However that may be, whether through clothing, appearance, words, behavior is one that I've, like your physical actions is one that I've kind of picked up on that I do a lot. And I have sort of moved away from all those things. Whether that's in my clothing, I have a lot of clothes that have different sayings about like different, what some might say, controversial topics, and I've leaned more into wearing those. I've leaned more into, again, wearing my hair how it is, wearing hoops, wearing jewelry that, some might describe as ghetto, whatever the hell that means, and other things of how I carry myself and how I talk has really, really, also it's helped the people around me a little bit kind of be more accepting of who I am, because before I felt like they try to push me into something that they wanted me to be, and now that they see I'm kind of not going that way, they've left that alone, which, thank you, appreciate that. But I think I've learned to really, and in this I've learned to love myself. Now this has been a process through lots of therapy, lots of trial and error, lots of talking to like people around me to see how this has affected me, and really kind of even saying some of these things out loud have been super helpful. And I think that is one of the hardest things that I've done this year. But the other kind of harder thing, but difficult thing I did this past year was go to school. Graduate school is a bitch. School in general is a bitch, but there's something about the word, when you put the word graduate in front of it, that makes it even more difficult than it needs to be. But graduate school has been hell for me for so many reasons related to like racism, elitism, some of the sexism within, the culture of graduate school or even my school. And I think I've learned a lot about not giving all of myself to that. Like I've said before, for a long time, I determined my self-worth based on my professional academic success. And when that started kind of declining because of how people perceive me, or how, their internalized things that they've put onto me, I really struggled. So I struggled a lot, honestly, and I really learned that it is what it is. Like, I literally just wrote a reaction paper that was probably, I think it's really good, but it's probably based on who my professor is. He's probably not gonna like it too much, but I could care less. Like, I hit the points of the rubric, but I shared my truth. And I think one of the biggest things throughout my graduate program that I didn't do at the beginning necessarily was stand in my truth and stand in who I am, and I really kind of let people walk all over me. And I think as time has gone on, I really, really have not let people compromise my values, my morals, and who I am to appease them. I refuse. I refuse. And that's probably been the biggest turning point for me in grad school, though. Some of my friends joke that I'm like very direct and assertive, and I think that that's great because there's a lot of people who aren't, or who, kind of not lessen themselves, I don't know if that's the word, but demean themselves to appease the white people around them, and that's just not going to happen. You got to take me how I am. Sometimes I could be very direct, very blunt, but I feel like some people might need that, and it's kind of something that's been missing. With school, I think one of the other bigger challenges that I've kind of overcome this year was really balancing work and pleasure. Everything, all my success and self-worth has been determined by how good I do in school or at work. And now I'm kind of just like, C's get degrees, but in graduate school, that's not necessarily true. B's get degrees. A's definitely get degrees, but I also learned how subjective grading is, based on the professor, based on if they like you, based on how they perceive you. Because, blind grading doesn't really exist when you have a voice in your writing, especially a voice as strong as mine. So what I've learned is that instead of putting all this work into my academic stuff where people aren't going to be happy with what it is, I put maybe like 75% of the work I would have put before. But in that, I'm also being more honest and letting my voice shine through more. And I think it's been more helpful for me. My grade is more or less the same, depends on the person, but for the most part, it's really helped. And it's helped me as a clinician as well. Like, this research, this field was not made for us. This technique that we're learning was not made for me, not made for us. And that is why I'm gonna basically shit on it for the next fucking 4 to 5 pages. So I've kind of really, really been more honest. I think that's really the theme of this entire year is honesty, transparency, and standing in my truth. And in that, I've felt a weight come off of me. That whatever, if I get 80 or 85, I still pass. That's still a B. Jessica, that's still fine. You also got to remember who's grading this. Somebody who's never interacted with somebody like you or looks like you or is as outspoken as you are, and you call them out on their bullshit. Of course they're going to be bothered, and they're going to try to punish you in other ways. And that's okay, because in 5 months, none of these people, because the field still matters, none of these particular people will matter in this, for now. And I think that has been a very, very fun thing for me. Fun and freeing and really great. But with that, as we enter 2025, I am 4 months away from graduating with my second degree. And that is fucking awesome. I'll be part of the 10%, I think it's 10% of Black women who hold a master's. It might be more. But that is a beautiful milestone for me. I will be the first grandchild in my family to hold this like advanced degree. I couldn't be more proud of me based on like all the stuff that I've endured in this program, in this like kind of journey. I could not be more proud of myself, and for still standing here, and for still doing pretty okay, to be honest. I think that is amazing. And what graduation means for me, one, I don't have to get up super early anymore and don't have to sit through 4-hour classes where people just fucking listen to themselves yap. People who love to hear the sound of their own voice. But also a sense of autonomy, freedom, peace, to be the best therapist or person I can be for my clients particularly, or for myself. I think because even at school you get graded, like on your internship you get a grade for how you do therapy, which I think is insane, but that is part of the criteria, I guess. And one thing that I am kind of excited for is not that I won't have supervision, but kind of this idea that I won't be like reduced, like my skill set won't be simply reduced to a letter, but rather the impact or the treatment of my clients, which I think is amazing. And getting away from this school will be the best day of my life. I literally can't wait. I can't wait to like graduate and be able to go into more detail about all the stuff I've experienced and basically hopefully go out into the world and make some change. I think every day that I'm in therapy or seeing a client, I think I'm making a little bit of change, but I feel that getting away from this particular institution and what I'm tied to will make it even better, in all honesty. And I am so excited for that. And like, this is just like a huge milestone. I'm under 30. I'll have 2 degrees, graduating debt free. Like, this is a beautiful, beautiful moment for me, and I can't be more proud. And I'm also thankful for both my parents and their support in their own unique ways, but it's definitely been a fucking shit show. But I'm excited for the shit show to be over. So, countdown in 4 months, almost to the day actually today, but I can't wait and I'm super excited. The other thing that's coming right in 2025, right when I start, is my birthday. My birthday is January 12th, 12 days into the new year. Bad bitch was born. I'm like, birthdays are kind of lame now. I feel like it's just another day most of the times, especially these last few years because I've been in school nonstop and working, and hasn't really been celebrated in the way that I want to. But I think after this year and after kind of the different traumas I've experienced and different loss too, I am so excited to celebrate another year of living, and another year of living on my own terms, which is beautiful to say. And I'm just getting closer and closer to my dreams and to my goals. And I think I've always had what, my family might describe as like lofty goals, but I think I've achieved every single one of them based on hard work and determination. But I think this year for my birthday, that's how I've kind of determined my success for the year that I turned based on what I did. But I think this year for my birthday, I simply just want to be. I think I want to celebrate how that I'm alive, that I'm here, that I've kind of made my life a little better with my boundary setting, that I'm more firm in who I am, and I'm really celebrating who I am. And I want to celebrate Jessica, and not just Jessica's achievements, but Jessica as a person and the personal growth I've had. And I think, to be honest, that's enough for me. And I want a crab boil, seafood boil. I want like the crab legs, the shrimp, the corn, the potatoes, the egg, everything. The bag that makes you smell, some fries, and like, I don't even know what. That's what I really want. Or a taco wheel. Either one is perfectly acceptable. But yeah, I think that is my like biggest thing about the past, celebrating another year. Let's talk about the goals for and hopes of 2025. Like I said, I've had big aspirations. My biggest aspiration this year, well, it's not even an aspiration, it will happen. I'm gonna graduate. I cannot not graduate. I want to continue to grow my podcast. I want to continue to share my stories with you guys, continue to share kind of my different viewpoints on different things, and really grow this community, hopefully in a way that is safe and helpful to everyone that listens and participates. And I think the other thing I really want to work on this year, this has to do with like my personal relationships, is really continue to be myself and really be who I am. I think, like, when I talk about authenticity and standing in my truth, I really didn't hit that stride till the end of the year. So I really want to start 2025 in this same mode of like being who I am and not compromising myself for others. And I think that'll be fantastic for me. I hope it will be fantastic. And I hope that it'll garner some better relationships out of this year. What else am I hoping for? I'm hoping for health, prosperity for myself and everybody around me. I'm hoping for no more snow. I'm hoping for a tropical vacation, a car, living on my own. See, now I'm getting into like the more long-term goals, but I think those are all still achievable. And I think, what would be like my biggest goal or aspiration? I really don't know. I think my biggest aspiration is to continue to be me, however that turns out. Because I know, you change and you evolve. And I think that could really change based on who I am and the different experiences that are to come, because I don't know what's coming tomorrow. I could only control or know what is right now. I'm getting a little emotional. I didn't expect to kind of feel this way. Yeah, but what I encourage you to do for this new year, I'm also going to eat 12 grapes under the table, because I did that last year and it kind of worked. I mean, I got some things. I got like some, I guess I got some things that I wanted, but I think I'm gonna do it again this year. I need to do it so is it that you eat the 12 grapes before, like between 11:59 and 12, or do you eat the 12 grapes after 12, and then for each grape you eat, you say, like, I need someone to clarify that for me, because I think that's where I fucked up. I think I may have done it too soon, and I wasn't, thinking of something that I wanted as I ate the grapes. Also, is it red or green grapes? Does your underwear have to match? I need all the details so I can get this right this year. But yeah, I hope everyone had and has a beautiful and happy holiday season. And I hope that you protect yourself, your peace, and just a gentle reminder, boundaries are the best gift you can give to yourself and to others. So, I guess my final words are, as 2024 comes to a close, I'm filled with an immense gratitude for the lessons, challenges, and growth that this year has brought me, from working with kids, starting therapy, witnessing their strength, getting very close to graduation, kind of finishing out my goals, meeting new friends, starting new relationships, loving myself a lot more. This year has really reminded me that every step we take, no matter how difficult, is a part of our story. It's It's a part of our chapter. It's another sentence, another page. And I've learned, I'm getting like teary-eyed, but I've learned that growth is not linear, and sometimes the hardest moments are what shapes us the most. And as I approach the end of my graduate journey and reflect on everything that's happened, I'm incredibly grateful for the opportunity. I'm incredibly grateful for the experience and the training and the education I've received. And I hope in some way my experiences have helped you. I'll share more about them, but I hope that in some way, me disclosing some of the things that have happened and sharing that you know that you're not alone. And that unfortunately a lot of stuff that we endure happens to many of us, and although we may not have the same experience, we might have similar ones. So here's to the lessons we carry with us into the new year, the boundaries we set, and the growth we embrace. Thank you for being here with me, and I can't wait to see what 2025 holds for all of us. Until next time, take care of yourselves, and remember, you are never alone on this beautiful journey.